But right now we are joined by Chuck Todd, who is, of course, the chief White House correspondent for NBC News, and you've seen him everywhere, NBC Nightly News, Today, Meet the Press, Morning Joe. If you're talking about politics on TV in America, there is a good chance Chuck Todd will be part of the conversation. Hey, Chuck, thanks for being with us.
Good evening.
Congratulations on the interview with the president you got. That was a huge get that everybody wanted.
Yeah, one of those times where it seemed like you had a lot to answer for. So it was timing's everything sometimes.
Well, congratulations. It was wonderful, and we were just interested in talking more with you about it. And and you know, Chuck, I'm sure a lot of America has seen the interview and clips of it. This isn't an ambush, but it's a genuine question. You know, when the president was talking about, you know, his apology and his regrets and the idea that he wishes that Obamacare had been implemented properly and all the rest, what was your sense as someone who was in the room, you know, about his body language and his eyes? You know, did he seem genuinely regretful?
Yes, and I guess the question is, what is, there's different ways to interpret it. You know, does he know he's in a big political mess? Is he frustrated because he's in a big policy mess? Is he frustrated? You know, that's the part of it I don't know, but I think all of that is intertwined and all of that is there. I mean, I think that he seemed very much as if it didn't come across as if he was trying to realizing he had to face the music or take his medicine or something like that. But at the same time, I did get the sense of, okay, what I was, for instance, I was surprised. I thought maybe there'd be more little partisan shots at Republicans in Congress or taking hits at insurance companies. And he didn't that. I mean, he was very explanatory and some might say over-explanatory about what exactly he meant on his promise. If you like your plan, you can keep it. But ultimately, he kept, every time on different questions, he kept coming around to taking responsibility himself, more so than I think we've heard in other times during this, what is really, a pretty rough political patch for him.
Sure. And, I was wondering if we could spool up clip 12, because when I knew him in law school, I was on the Harvard Law Review with him, and when criticized, he really did used to bristle a bit. He wasn't criticized often, but when he did. And I was curious, here's, as you recall, this Clarence Page criticism, clip 12.
He knew he was lying?
Probably. But that's one of those political lies.
Did he bristle at any of that when you asked the question?
I asked him when it was one of those things when I realized I was getting the interview, and I literally read that Clarence Page column that morning, and I thought, hometown newspaper, perfect way to ask him this question.
Oh yeah.
He does not believe he lied on this, and that's the sense I get. I mean, I think he's taken issue with that before with folks off the record, and I got the sense he took issue. It felt like, he did not sit there and say he intentionally lied. He said that he wanted to, he thought he was going to be able to keep his promise. I thought what was revealing in that answer, when I asked him that direct question about this, was this a political lie, that you just started to believe it, was he talked about, it turns out we had trouble in crafting the law. He used this phrase about crafting the law. And I remember just looking at it again, sometimes you're in the middle of it, and you don't hear everything, and you're like, crafting the law? Well, this goes to the big criticism that there has been about this from a lot of Republicans, which has to do with this law got rushed together. It got pushed through. Now, there were plenty of political reasons, and Democrats will say it's because Republicans are holding it up. Whatever the case, it doesn't change the fact. The law got rushed through, and there are parts of the law that they wish they had fixed or changed, and they never did. Well, look at the mess it's gotten us into now.